Hello, my name is Megan Antunes, and I'm a scientist on the Real-World Evidence and Epidemiology team at Philip Morris International, and today I will be presenting results from two time trend analyses on hospitalizations due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, and ischemic heart disease, or IHD, in Japan before and after the introduction of heated tobacco products, or HTPs. Real-world data are readily available in Japan, and considering the crucial need to investigate the effects of switching from cigarette smoking to heated tobacco products, both at the individual and population levels, the use of real-world data seems to be a viable option. Thus, these studies aim to use real-world data to explore the temporal association between the introduction of HTPs in Japan and hospitalization rates for smoking-related diseases using two different Japanese databases. We performed time trend analyses to assess the rates of COPD exacerbations, and IHD hospitalizations before and after the introduction of HTPs in the Japanese market. Data on the number of hospital admissions associated with the selected ICD-10 codes for COPD and IHD from 2010 to 2019 were retrieved from both the Medical Data Vision, or MDV database, and Japan Medical Data Center, or JMDC database. With the JMDC data, two event definitions were used: diagnosis procedure combination, or DPC data, in which the reason for hospitalization is flagged as the main or causative disease, and all inpatient data, which are not flagged and are more abundant. The intervention point representing the introduction of HTPs was January 2017. This decision was based on research by Stoklosa et al., which showed that there was a 2-year transition period after the first introduction of HTPs at the end of 2014, meaning that a relevant market exposure of HTPs can be observed from January 2017 onwards. This was also confirmed by analyzing PMI's internal sales data, which showed substantial trends of both increasing HTP sales and decreasing cigarette sales in 2017. Additional intervention points for January 2016 and January 2018 were tested for sensitivity analyses and showed similar results. Linear and nonlinear interrupted time series models, adjusted for sex and age, were used to evaluate the difference in hospitalization rates before and after intervention. Analyses using the MDV database showed a significant decreasing trend in hospitalizations due to COPD exacerbation after the introduction of HTPs in Japan. A non-significant decreasing trend was also observed for COPD codes and IHD hospitalizations. Analyses of all available JMDC data showed a significant reduction in the number of hospitalizations for COPD codes after the introduction of HTPs in Japan. The slight declines in hospitalizations for COPD exacerbation plus lower respiratory tract infections and IHD were not significant. Analyses restricted to DPC data from the JMDC database showed a significant decrease in the number of hospitalizations for IHD. It should be noted that the absolute count of hospitalizations due to COPD exacerbation, as well as for all COPD endpoints with DPC-only data in the JMDC database, were extremely small, hence no meaningful interpretation could be drawn. There were several differences between the MDV and JMDC databases, which may have contributed to the minor discrepancies observed in the results of the two studies. For example, MDV contains mostly DPC data, whereas only 60% of JMDC data are DPC. MDV also includes more data for older patients, and JMDC contains a larger percentage of females. Additionally, the total data counts, as well as counts for certain endpoints, differ considerably between the databases, with JMDC containing only a quarter of the hospitalizations compared with that in MDV. Both studies had similar results, even though the pre-HTP trends were not always comparable. This could be due to the differences in the demographic characteristics between the two database populations. Although smoking status is not well documented in hospital records, our analyses detected some positive changes in smoking-related disease hospitalization trends following the introduction of HTPs in Japan. This type of research has many limitations, and it is important to remember that these results do not indicate a causal relationship. Furthermore, to assess the impact of HTP commercialization on hospitalizations for other smoking-related endpoints, a longer post-HTP period is needed. These findings warrant further research to evaluate the impact of HTPs on the health of populations in other countries where these products are available. Despite the limitations of this study, these findings provide important insights into the potential health impacts of HTPs before long-term epidemiological data become available. Thank you so much for watching.